pretty much the outline how it's gonna go. I brought the wrong book though. Damn. I hate when I do that.
NightOwlHipHop.com.
Yeah. Holy smokes, I'm no joke out the bullpen. Bringing nothing but heat, leave you hanging like clothespins. He's a beast when he goes in, ice cold frozen. The first round draft pick, number one chosen. Drop bombs, explosion, self promotion. And I keep moving like a flanker in motion. I'm the number one spokesman, is my devotion. That I'm dedicated to the rhyme is my own notion. Brown water's the potion, it put hair on your chest. Or you can put one in the air and it'll put you to rest. Sweet dreams, I'm about to fade. I got my mind on my money and I'm dreaming about getting this all paid. Mr. Go-Getter, Mr. Assertive, Mr. Initiative, Mr. Results, man, I'm all about my business, kid. Damn, I mean, need I say more? I mean, what more can I say? You know the play. Back for the last time. This time I mean that. I did a lot of shows, but you ain't never seen that. I did a lot of battles. I ain't even have to win it. I hit them with the song. They ain't even try to spin it. I took a lot of pictures. What the I ain't in it. But when I hit the mic, I crash. Yeah, I did it. I did a lot of promos. Did a lot of interviews. Y'all getting hated on, a lot of been accused. What else? Misunderstood and ridiculed. What else? Acting like I ain't never been to school. How soon they forget I stood the test of time. Rewind that. Yeah. Best is, yeah. Best that, One is one that I kill tracks. Hey. Videos with the city in the back and the sun rooftop and the diamond in the hat. Hey. Videos with the city in the back and the sun rooftop and the diamond in the hat. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, gon' do it then. Gon' do it then. Do it then. Gon' do it then. Gon' do it then. Do it then. Move with it. Move with it. Move with it. Gonna move with it. Gonna move with it. Move with it. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Yeah, I'm back. I'm back. Now move with it like. Shit, I'm out of breath. Got a little bit more left. I got more drip than a little bit. I'm sunshine with the punchlines. I take jabs at 5-0, throw uppercuts at the one time. I talk, then back it up, but most times I stay in the cut. In other words, I'm posted up away from y'all know what's up. Hater proof I get away from you. I can't stand ya, and you know it's true. We can step outside, make it do what it do. He don't want no smoke, he ain't got a clue. It's Nitro with the nice flow. They still acting like they don't know. It's Nitro with the nice flow. But they acting
Look, treat me like The Rock. When you see me, I'm electrifying. Yeah, only talk I do is edifying. They say preach, they say church when I'm testifying. Hear you running at the mouth, that's a lot of mileage.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Damon Rich, the Relationship GPT, and I am so glad that you are here with me tonight. This is time for Prompt Conversations. You know how I say it, how I do it. What doesn't get talked about doesn't get healed. And so this is something I'm going to be doing each and every Thursday. Well, not each and every Thursday. Podcasts each and every Thursday. But Prompt Conversations will come to you once a month where we'll get in, we'll dig in. And here's the thing. You'll get an opportunity to ask questions. I'm going to give you something. I'm going to teach you some information. And then after that, I'm going to go sit over at the desk, take your questions. So get your questions ready to drop in the chat. Listen, if you with me, you rocking with me, you've been listening to the music on the way in, and you are ready to go, say, I'm ready. All right? I'm ready. Sound like SpongeBob. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. TD Jakes, get ready, get ready, get ready. You know, if it's still cool to quote TD Jakes, I still like the man, regardless of what's going on, praying for him and his family, all of that. So listen. I want to talk to you tonight about it's going to be 5 P's. There's more than 5 P's. But I'm going to be talking to you tonight about the P's of relationship. Now, there's a song by Tupac that kind of got me started down here where he uses wordplay, and he uses a lot of words that start with P, like for prepare for battle, pass the pump, right? When I get to popping. You know, he does that. And I was just thinking about that song the other night, and I said, I want to do a play on P's. And I want to talk about the P's of relationship. And there's 5 specific P's that I want to talk to you about. And I'm going to get deep into it. So I hope you have your notebook, whatever it is that you take notes with. You ready to drop some comments in the chat. You ready to really take your relationship up a notch. You're ready to get healed. You're ready to get stronger. If everything's already going well, listen, I want you ready. I want you ready for what we're about to get into. Okay? So this is, again, the P's of relationship. This is Prompt Conversations. Once a month, we're going to have prompt conversations with Damon, the relationship GPT, and we're going to get into this. You ready? You ready? Let's go. And I have a special offer for you, special update for you at the end of this. All right. So there's these 5 P words. And some of them I'm going to approach from a perspective of how men are taught and how women are taught, or society expectations of women, society expectations of men. And then I want to kind of try and help clean up some of those expectations, because some of those expectations, because they're dirty and because they're muddy, they are not doing a service to relationships, and it's actually keeping us at each other's throat. We have men saying they don't want to get married. We have women saying men are soft. We got all kind of battles. There's a battle of the sexes, but I want to get to a balance of the sexes. Okay, so let's get into this. I'm gonna give you these 5, and I'm gonna dig into each one of them, and then after that, I'm gonna skedaddle over here, switch the camera, and we're gonna have a little bit of conversation, answering your questions. Okay, let's get into this. The first P that I want to address is provision. I want to deal with provision here. Will help if I get you there. I want to deal with provision here because from a man perspective, how I was taught, a man should provide for his home. Matter of fact, if we go into the Bible and you're a believer, it says that a man who doesn't take care of his family is worse than an infidel. So here it is. A man is supposed to provide for his home. That's my primary responsibility, my primary duty. And I'm finding that a lot of men, especially in this current battle of the sexes instead of balance of the sexes environment, that a lot of men are shunning away from that providing because, quite honestly, we're getting burnt out. Quite honestly, we're feeling unappreciated. Quite honestly, we don't even know what it means anymore. We have this whole conversation of her money, his money. His money is for the house. Her money is just for her. That's a conversation that we can have. Let's take it this way. There was a time, I've been married for 25 years, and there was a time where it absolutely took. I always tease about this, that in today's society, I probably would not be able to get a bride if I was who I used to be. But it took both of our salaries to take care of the home. It took us many years, doggone near 2 decades, to get to a place where that wasn't necessary. And some of that was necessary because of poor management of finances. Some of that was necessary because we weren't making enough. But providing for the home is supposed to be me. Now, if you're in a situation where she's working, you're working, and his finances can take care of the home, then her finances should be being put up for a rainy day. Her finances should be, hey, let's get us out of debt. Her finances make sure, hey, let's make sure our vacations are paid for and we can take nice ones, whatever, investment, all of those things. But we have to have a conversation in order to get there. Because one of the things that I hear from a lot of men is when it comes to that, my money is our money and her money is her money, is what is happening to her money. And women are not making less than men in a lot of places. There are some places that is still true, but they are making a lot of loot. What's happening to the money? That discussion comes up over and over and over again. But let me get to how we typically are raised as men. Providing means I make the money, I turn over the money, and that's all I got to do. That's how we're taught. I'm supposed to provide a home. I'm supposed to provide this security. I'm supposed to provide things to make sure we have food and shelter and clothing. I'm supposed to provide. So our provision and how we're taught is usually limited to the tangible things that we provide. Now, let's shift. Women are typically taught from a society perspective that all you need to do is provide emotional support. All you need to do is provide sex. All you need to do is provide housekeeping. That's how women are typically raised from a societal perspective. But here's the thing. I didn't learn until later that my provision included intangible things too. See, providing shelter, that's low-hanging fruit. Unless I planned on sleeping on the streets, I had to do that anyway. Having a family, do I have to provide more shelter, larger shelter? Sure. But I had to already have shelter. Providing clothing, do I have to provide more clothing than for myself? Sure. But I already, unless I planned on getting tickets or something and going to jail for walking around nude, I had to provide clothing anyway. I had to provide food anyway. So to a certain degree, those are bare minimums. Now, those bare minimums should still be appreciated, but they're bare minimums nonetheless. Provision. I didn't know I had to provide prayer. I didn't know I had to provide emotional support. I didn't know that I had to provide conversation. My wife teases sometimes saying that there needs to be a charm school for men. Not so much that men are uncharming, but these things, these gaps that are often left out, these gaps that are often created for what men are to provide. But hey, lady, you're to provide more than sex. You're providing more than housekeeping, childbearing, and child rearing. There's some prayer that you have to provide too, where you have to pray for him and not just about him. We're not usually taught provision beyond the tangible. If you want your relationship to get stronger, you have to learn to provide provision beyond what you can touch, beyond what you can just feel. And when I say feel, I'm not talking about feelings. I'm talking about, like I say, the touchy stuff. Provision. Now let me get you to this next one. Let's talk about protection. When we say we're going to talk about protection, men are taught to provide, again, physical security. Have my gun. Have a fence. Have an alarm. Be able to defend my family. Physical protection. Women, typically, the protection seems to flow down. Man protects woman, woman protects child. So her protection is focused on the children if they have them. And if you don't, then her protection really doesn't have a place to go by the way women are typically taught. So here's something to help us. Here's something to help us. What about a protection that I have to provide for her heart? Let's talk about that. What about protection that I provide from her for her heart, for his heart? Proverbs 31 says, "In the heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her." Why? Because it's a safe place. How many men have I heard say they have no safe place? How many women have I heard say they have no safe place? Why don't they have a safe place? Because their partner sometimes is untrustworthy, or their partner hasn't been taught how to protect their heart, how to protect their emotions. Protecting emotions doesn't mean I let you just get your way and I don't say anything else to you because I don't want to hurt your feelings. Protecting your emotions means that I am moving with you in a loving, caring, and compassionate way, even as I address things that could brush up against your emotions. What about protection? Can we move protection from being a one-way thing, man protects woman and children, woman protects just the children, and make it a bi-directional protection? I need to be able to lay my head in the lap of my wife and feel safe. She needs to be able to do the same. And when we're mutually, or when we're both in a mutual safe place, then we can both provide protection. Let's talk about the third P. Let's talk about presence. And we'll get a little personal with this one. Just give me a minute. Let me get a little personal with this one. Got to grab a seat. Hopefully I don't get out of frame. I ain't too far out of frame. Can I confess something to you? One of the most significant area in my top 3 areas of where I've got to get better as a husband and as a father is being present. I've struggled to be a present father. I've struggled to be a present husband. I was taught presence as a man was just being in the home. Hey, I'm here. I'm accessible. If you need anything, put in your daddy, husband help ticket. I'll see what I can do about it. I wasn't taught that being present includes engaging on a consistent basis. When I get home, I'll go in and check on my son. Hey, son, how you doing? Love you, dude. You know what I'm saying? Hope your day was good. This, that. Yeah, I'm present in the home and I'm somewhat engaging. I did better than what I got, and my stepdad was a phenomenal man, but we didn't get that type of engagement. We didn't have that type of interaction. But present means not only being in the home, it also means engaging with your family in a meaningful way. Engaging with them on homework, absolutely, would do that for the homework I can't do. I would do that. Engaging with them from the perspective of, how was your day? Yeah, I do that. But this little thing right here, spend more time engaging with it than with them. Laptop, engaging with them, it more than with them. Watching a game, having drinks with the buddies. I wasn't taught what it really meant to be present. And I know that there are going to be some of you, man, I'm at all the football games and I'm taking them on the AAU trips and I'm doing all of that. That's a lot of times we as men, if we can keep it a buck, we're taking pride in that our child's performance. But if they wasn't doing that, would you still be engaging? Would you just go take them fishing? What would you be doing with them if they weren't doing things that interest you? What if your son wanted to play the cello? Would you be there? Would you be engaging? Would you show interest? What if your daughter, I don't know, wanted to rollerblade or cheer? Would you be just as interested, just as engaged? Women are taught how to be very present in the home. Matter of fact, they're so present that they're considered hovering or helicopter moms at times. I guess it goes with part of their protection instinct. But men, we're typically taught that presence just means that I'm present in the home. And to get better, to have that better family life, to have that better engagement or better cohesiveness in the family, we not only have to be physically present in the home, but we've got to be mentally and spiritually present and aware in the home. Let me get with number 4. Let's go to purpose. Let's talk purpose. So purpose is something that's often not taught as it relates to relationships. Matter of fact, I wish I would have known about purpose a whole lot sooner in my marriage. I wish I'd have understood the significance of purpose in a relationship. Now, if you spend any time watching any of our content, you know that we teach what the glue to marriage is shared purpose. What is God's return on investment for bringing the two of you together? What's the return on investment? I'm going to think about it a little bit differently. What is it that you as a couple are responsible for tending to together, where it takes both of your strengths, intellect, and spirituality and connection, that is bigger than you? What are you serving? What is your marriage serving just beyond what's important to you? Purpose. A lot of marriages don't make it because they outgrow each other. But see, if you put your marriage inside the container of purpose, I guarantee you, y'all won't outgrow the purpose. I can remember, I think it might have been Pastor Mike Todd, relationship goals, and everybody's hashtag relationship goals. Well, if your relationship goal wasn't to discover your shared purpose, then you didn't really have a goal. Thing about goals is, if you fail them long enough, you'll get discouraged and figure it's your partner. If you're really good and you succeed enough, eventually you'll reach a point where there's nothing else to accomplish. But the way God sets purpose up, you'll never fill it all the way up. Matter of fact, you will leave the earth before you reach its full potential. But when you leave the earth, that purpose will be complete. I hope that makes sense to somebody. As long as you're still breathing, there's more to do. There's no more to do until you're no longer breathing. I look at the ultimate husband. Once there was nothing left to do, he stopped breathing. Then he caught a second breath, and he ascended into heaven, and he left his bride with a mission. Purpose. I rarely like to make guarantees around relationship coaching and information and advice, but I can almost guarantee you this. No, I will guarantee you this. If you and your spouse find your shared purpose and both of you embrace that shared purpose and both of you are intentional about working that shared purpose together, your marriage will get better. Let me give that to you again. If both of you will come and agree on your shared purpose, And if both of you will embrace that shared purpose, and if both of you will be intentional about working that shared purpose, I can guarantee you your marriage will get better. Now you may be saying, "Oh, you mean if we do that, we're not going to have a problem?" No, you're still going to have problems. But when you start viewing it through the lens of purpose, those problems stay the problem, and you don't start looking at each other as the problem. You'll learn to analyze the challenges that bring friction into your marriage differently than you do today. That's what purpose does for your relationship. Now, if you're struggling to find purpose, how do we find our shared purpose? Just drop some comments. I want to know our purpose. How do we find purpose? Whatever you want to say, drop that in, and I'm going to reach out to you and DM you, and we can talk about it. How many? Let me stop for a small question. How many of you are looking for marriage mentorship? If you're looking for marriage mentorship, send me a DM where you and your spouse, I need both of you to be on the same page. We're looking for marriage mentorship. We're looking for marriage mentorship. We're looking for a seasoned couple or a couple who has moved from surviving to thriving. We're looking for that couple to walk with us for a season to help us get better at marriage. If you're interested in that, drop it in the comments. Hit me up in the DMs. If you drop it in the comments, I will hit you up in the DMs and we'll talk about it. We'll talk about putting together a plan to mentor your marriage. Okay? Purpose. Let me get to this last one. Then we're going to take some questions if there is any. Persistence. The old folks used to say they ain't got no stick-to-itness no more. When I say persistence, I'm not saying stay in the marriage just for staying in the marriage's sake. I'm also not advocating divorce, just to be clear. But at the same time, I'm not saying that if the person's not pleased to dwell with you, they're running around, they're mistreating you. And listen, your spouse is going to hurt your feelings sometimes. Everything doesn't rise to the level of abuse. We got to stop that nonsense. But there's clear boundaries that you have set, and those boundaries continue to be violated. That's abuse. Watch this. A child who is molested or a person who is sexually assaulted, they had a boundary that they did not willingly let down, and someone bulldozed through that boundary. That's what makes it abuse. I want you to think about it for a minute. I really want you to think about it for a minute. What is driving you from being persistent and staying in your marriage? What is driving you to have a plan B? And I want to talk to some of the people that's about to get married. You're getting married, walking down the aisle with a plan B. How can that marriage last? Until you abandon your plan B, the plan A cannot get stronger. I'm going to say it one more time for you. Until you abandon your plan B, plan A cannot get stronger. Why? Because you can't possibly say you're giving it 100% if you have a plan B. Can't possibly. Can't possibly. Persistence. Do you have some stick-to-itness? I ain't talking about staying just for staying's sake, but staying with intentionality. Me and Tamika were talking a little bit earlier, and one of the things they used to tell the women who were going through with the husband or whatever, they just pray, baby. Just pray. Pray and. I'm not going to say pray but, pray and. Listen for God's response. Pray and still be obedient to God as He would have you to be as a wife. Pray and seek out counsel and therapy. Pray and address the things that are yours. As much as it pertains to you, be at peace with your spouse. Address the parts that you have control over. Pray and. Persistence. It's so important when I talk about these P's, and I'm going to run through them real quick again for you. Provision has to be more than the tangible. Protection has to be bi-directional. Presence has to include engagement. Purpose has to include intentionality in something bigger than the both of you. And persistence has to include a determination to put everything you have into plan A, because plan B doesn't exist. Hey, listen, that's all I have for you. We're going to jump over here to the desk. We're going to get some questions from you. We're going to hop over there in just a minute. If you have some questions, go ahead and get your questions ready to drop into the comments. I'm going to take your questions. And if you are so inclined and would like to join me on air, I can drop a link in the comments and you can click that link as well. And you can come on camera and chop it up with me. All right, let's get into it. See what we got, fam. See if we can get this. Hey, what's going on, fam? Can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? Make sure I turn this off. All right. We're going to take some questions from you. If you have any questions for me, we're going to jump into those. If you don't, then we're going to get out of your way and let it go. We're going to get out your way and let it go. I hope that you got something out of this. I hope that it was a help to you. I hope that it provided some guidance to you, because at the end of the day, we have to get better. We have to get better at marriage. We have to get better at this thing that God gave dominion to in the earth. We have to get better at it. That takes some effort. That takes some being intentional. That takes some drive and determination. Takes a lot. So we're going to take some questions if you have any. I'm take some questions if you have any. If not, we're finna let you go. I'll let you go. All right. Okay. Hey, here's my special announcement for you. This Saturday, I will be dropping a free digital guide to the 5 P's of relationship. Everything that I just covered for you, and this is the thing, it's going to have some information in there. It's going to have some place for you to write down some thoughts and to put together a plan on each one of those of how you're going to get better. So that'll be dropping this Saturday. So be on the lookout on my socials. You'll see that information out there. You'll be able to drop your email address, get that information. And I think it's really going to continue to help you transform. The guide goes a little deeper and is a little more prescriptive around what I just covered. So I'll be dropping that this Saturday. And again, if you are interested in marriage mentorship, make sure you drop some comments, hit us up in the DMs, myself, my wife, and we'll be happy to talk with you about it as we are near close to launching and putting out a marriage mentorship, launching our marriage mentorship program. So looking to get that started sometime on the other side of back end of summer, where we're going to take on our first cohort. We're going to take on about 5 couples, and we're going to mentor you for a period of time. And there's going to be some things that come along with that. So that is all I have for you today. And guess what? I'll see you on the next video. Till then, God bless.